My name is Alex Otsu. I'm the founder and CEO of PixelAlpha, and today I'm going to be telling you about how we change the world of derivatives. And I promise that by the end of this 10 minutes, you guys are going to be just as excited as me about that sentence. So today we're talking about how we can use blockchain to power better trading. And so this means everything from de-risking some of the types of derivatives that caused, for example, the 07-08 financial crisis. And it also means how we can use blockchain to improve the exchange experience for traders. So let's get started. What I want you guys to walk out of this with today is an understanding of, first, what derivatives are. Second, how traditional derivatives have failed and how sometimes they've failed quite spectacularly. And third, how we at PixelAlpha are applying derivatives to crypto assets in a way that addresses a lot of the problems that traditional crypto exchanges have had around pricing, security, and asset variety. So let's start with getting one thing out of the way, which is trading is crypto's killer app. Okay, not prediction markets, not unhackable voting, not decentralized computing. It's trading, and this is provable, right? We've got a $200 billion market cap. We've got $13 billion in daily trading volume. People love trading. People understand trading. And this is why a derivatives exchange is so important, because in any financial market, derivatives are the next step. So they're a next step that is worth quite a lot. How much are they worth? We believe that crypto derivatives today are worth $200 billion. So why? Let's first start with understanding what derivatives are. Essentially, they are insurance policies for securities. So this means when the price of a security goes down, the price of the derivative goes up. And in that way, investors can hedge their bets. And that's exactly why they've become so popular. So popular, in fact, that the value of stocks traded in 2017 was 79 trillion globally. That's a lot of money. But the value of derivatives traded, just exchange-traded derivatives in 2017 was 1.4 quadrillion. Okay, guys? That's 15 zeros. And so this is why we're quite confident, right, that this is a market that is highly underserved, and it's a number that we know is not hypothetical. It's not, oh, if a better blockchain comes out, then it can get to 200 billion. It's what we empirically know the institutional appetite for derivatives is. So there are many ways that, of course, derivatives can go wrong, like in the 07-08 crisis, and we'll just run through this really quick. Part of the problem leading up to 07 and 08 was that securities were massively mispriced, specifically these CDO securities. And so what ended up happening was the insurance for these securities, the derivatives for these securities, were also massively mispriced. So these two were sold as the same thing, but you can see that they're made up of totally different assets. And so this is what ended up happening, was that the debts that made up these assets defaulted, and then the insurance companies that were insuring them didn't have enough cash on hand to cover all of those sudden defaults. And so we saw AIG getting bailed out for $125 billion. We saw Bear Stearns getting bought for 8% of its 52-week high. And so this really crippled the world economy. It's $12.8 trillion in losses by very conservative estimates. So how does blockchain change this paradigm? And the answer is transparency, transparency, transparency. Okay, so we know that the blockchain provides a publicly accessible, immutable, and complete history of the assets that are stored on it. And so if what we do is, instead of letting the banks promise that the assets are priced right, we start storing them on the blockchain, then all of a sudden we have a complete history of what people's payments have looked like. We have basically a publicly accessible credit score, which has never been so easily accessible before. And any company, any institution that then wants to make a CDO out of these assets all of a sudden anyone who's trying to insure it gets complete visibility and is therefore able to accurately price it. So this has really interesting implications in democratizing insurance as well. I'd love to talk about that, but it's not within today's scope. So another advantage of derivatives in a financial system is that they create more consistent asset pricing. In 5 years of operation, CoinMarketCap has 1,600 stocks or coins listed on it. And so what we're seeing is this massive proliferation of coins. That means as an exchange, decentralization is the only way forward for us. So this is a picture of what the architecture looks like with regards to the Stellar blockchain. And again, happy to talk about this later, but I'm low on time now. Basically, it has two consequences. Right? One of those consequences is that PixelAlpha can be an asset-agnostic chain, or asset-agnostic exchange. So we don't care what chain is being used, because like I said, we're trading contracts which have been standardized on the Stellar network. And what it also means is that we can be volume agnostic. So no matter what type of market someone wants to make, we can, as long as there is someone who's willing to take the other side of that trade, we can accommodate it. Lastly is I want to talk about how we're using blockchain to create better tokenomics, to create a little bit of a better incentivization scheme for our users. So PXA pixels are the only tokens that are designed to go up in value as platform use increases through platform use. So what we do is we use pixels to pay out profits on PixelAlpha. And so in that way, as you can see, we'll buy pixels from the open market to pay out the profits so that the number of pixels in circulation stays the same. But as settlement value on the platform goes up, we will start to be buying them at a higher price, which then makes the price of the pixel increase. And so it is something that really favors early investors, and it's something that assures that we always have liquidity. So this is just a graph of how that value to volume works. And one last and actually really fascinating result of this is that the volume and therefore the price of pixels is correlated with volatility. Right? Because on a derivatives exchange, you're getting people who are very happy to take both sides of a trade, and it's more people who are looking to take either side. And so as volatility increases in a time like this, for example, we see the value of pixels increasing as well. So not only is PixelAlpha an exchange for you to trade derivatives, but pixels, our native token, are actually a really strong hedge against volatile markets. So again, we've got a little bit more. We have some really exciting advisors. I don't know if you guys have read Flash Boys, but one of our advisors is a person from MacBook. We have a pretty big market maker out of China, so we're really looking to be global. And we don't see this as something that should be geographically blocked. So I guess I don't have any time for questions, but again, this is my contact information, so you can feel free to send me a message or send me an email, and I would love to chat more about it. Thank you so much, guys.